Alright, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from the Damned's brilliant Black Album. I've never been able to find any kind of definitive info about how to play this. I think there's one YouTube video, but never been able to find any tabs or anything. So I thought I'd make a tutorial showing how I play this. It might be right, it might be wrong, but it sounds pretty close to my ear, and I've been listening to this song for 40 years. Maybe one day Captain Sensible will make his own tutorial and we'll find out, but this is how I'm gonna play it, and it goes like this. So first position is this chord holding down these three notes. That's index finger on the 5th fret on the D string, ring finger on the A string on the 7th fret, and the pinky on the 7th fret on the G string. So you've got that note, that note, and that note. You put those three together and you get that first chord. And in fact, that shape is what you're going to use the first 4 chords throughout. And this guitar, this piece keeps a lot of the strings open throughout, which gives that kind of ringing kind of sound. And it's not necessarily the easiest piece to play for a beginner, particularly this chord, because you've got to be able to play it all the way down here, which is stretching it right across from the 2nd to the 4th fret. Particularly on a steel string guitar, it can kind of hurt your fingers, but you know, if you're going to play the guitar, you're going to have to be able to do this. So it's a good thing to use to practice as well, stretch those fingers out. And you should probably look at the right hand right away, because it's really important. You know, it is a finger picking piece, so to be able to really play it, you're going to need to be able to finger pick as well, just basic finger picking in an arpeggio pattern, to use the classical guitar lingo. And you know, there's a couple of variations to the patterns that he plays on it on the record. There's some doubling up on the bass note on the way down the pattern, and then on the way up he skips that. But so you can kind of figure that out by listening to it. The main thing is you just kind of need to be able to play this simple arpeggio. So you're going to play the A bass note with your thumb, and then using your index, middle, and ring fingers pluck the other strings. You never use the little finger on your right hand on the guitar. So it's so those 4 strings, the middle 4 strings played with your thumb and your first 3 fingers. So, and then just come back down again. And that's a basic arpeggio. And then there are a couple of other little details that get thrown in. So just repeating those, repeating the plucks of the D and the G string at the end there. It gives you that basic pattern that you recognize. And then, yeah, as I say, he's also adding in these extra plucks on the bass string on the way down in a couple of places, but it's not absolutely necessary to play that to get the overall feel of the piece. So you could just do something like, and you know, you get the basic piece. All right, so back to the left hand, which is obviously where the most important stuff is going on. So yeah, we've got that first chord. I don't know what it's called. I'm not much of a music theorist. There are a lot of unusual chord progressions in this piece. There's hardly any kind of standard chords, but that's what makes it so interesting. So yeah, the very beginning of that, it's just that shape repeated, and you move it down a fret each time. Then the next position is kind of a C add 9 shape, I think. So if you imagine that would be a C chord, a basic C chord, you're just going to forget that finger, switch those 2 fingers around to your index finger and your middle finger, and then add in this D note here on the B string on the 3rd fret there to get that chord. So and then the next one is this little triangle shape here, some kind of inversion. Again, don't ask me what chord that is. And that's played with your index finger on the 1st fret on the D, your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the A, and your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret on the G string, and it gives you this kind of nice bluesy chord. So put that together. And then right to the bottom, the easiest chord in the whole thing, which is just basically an A minor shape. If you imagine just a simple A minor, forget the index finger, you just need these 2 fingers. I think that might be an A minor 6, not sure. And then from there we're just going to repeat the previous 2 chords on the way back up as well. And then this last chord here is just 2 notes on the 5th fret on the A string, so that's a D, and then on the D string on the 4th fret, so that's a F sharp. And that's it, that's all you need. And then the last chord is the same as the chord at the top. So putting that all together. And then this last bit at the end is just so it's that chord that we started with, and then just shifting this index finger up half a fret, 1 fret, so a half step, or you can just switch it out for the 2nd finger if you want, for your ring finger, which kind of flips that chord from being minor to major. So that's nice. And then of course it just repeats that pattern again one more time. I think when it gets to this part, gets to the end the 2nd time, instead of playing that, he's actually switching it over to this kind of E major shape, but with open strings. So like that. So it's a simple E major shape, but played as if it was an A major bar chord, but without the bar. Because from there it then goes down the neck in the same shape for the last part of the intro before the drums kick in and the song starts. So it's So that's it. I think that's my take on the intro for the Damned's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.